I really enjoyed the first episode of Those About to Die. I really like a lot of the characters. My first favorite character is Scorpus. He is member of the blue team. There are four teams in this betting tavern: green, red, white, and blue. He's in blue, but he isn't interested in power or anything. He does what he wants. He's sleeping with the boss's wife, and I really like him because he's kind of complex. Like, he cares for people. Like, when his friend Kirko died, I think that's his name, he mourned for his friend. And he is also smart because somehow he decides to investigate one of the rides of the blue team that his friend died, and it looks like someone sabotaged it. And I'm thinking that the person who sabotaged is Domitian, who I'll talk about later. But the reason why he was able to prevent that, I think, is because he was adamant about using the old one because they were pushing him to use the new ride. But I like him because I feel like he is like a wild card. He isn't, his motivation isn't power like some of the characters. And I feel like he is going to make choices and is going to make a stand because how should I say? Because he has to. I feel like he wants to stay out of the mix, but he will be part of it. And I'm kind of interested in how he will. Because right now, we see a person who's kind of like floating around life. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not interested, but I do feel like it's going to change. And I'm not really sure how, but I'm interested. But anyway, the person who I believe, and I might be wrong, sabotaged his ride is Domitian. Of course, I believe he did because he was betting on Team White. But anyway, I like Domitian. I just hate his name. But I really think he's a little annoying, but I feel like he's necessary. He kind of mixes everything up a little bit, spice things up. So Anthony Hopkins' character has two sons, Titus and Domitian. Titus is more just like the good soldier, good general, and Domitian is more like a politician. Both brothers want to be emperor once their father passes away, which looks like anytime now. So Domitian is whispering to his father and doing everything to make his brother look bad. Like, he's telling his dad, like, yeah, he's laying up with that woman. And in this episode, there was a riot because the food, it didn't arrive, and apparently that was Titus's job. So the people got upset, and Domitian came up with the idea of, let's use the race as a distraction, and it worked. I do find him annoying, but he does make good points, and he's kind of smart. When Titus showed up really late, he's all, yeah, if I was here sooner, I would have taken care of the crowd. Domitian's like, well, just hurting people's not the answer. They were hungry. They need food. So I feel like he's more reasonable. Even though he bet a lot of money on the white team and he lost, he's saying it was worth it because he still feel like he made his brother look bad. And he bet a lot of money on the white team via his lover, who was trying to give him some advice, and he told his lover that he was only good for two things: his behind and his mouth. And it's kind of funny because how he treats his lover and how Titus treats his lover is like so different. He treats his lover like he's disposable, while Titus seems to be in love with a woman. And we see Titus, he's clearly into the queen. He conquered the queen and her people actually built the arena. So, yeah. And I also find her interesting. But the other person that I really like is Anthony Hopkins, the emperor. He is clearly the wise one. He checks both of his sons in this episode. He tells the younger one, control your emotions. They don't need to know how you feel. Calm down. He tells Titus, "You're not taking care of business. You're not bringing food, and you weren't here to solve the riot problem. And my enemies think that you're into the queen too much, and in fact, I think so too." And I think he's right, and he makes sense. And I would hate for him to die anytime soon, but he's pretty much telling him, like, send her away. And the queen who Titus is laying up with, like, Titus went to her and just tells her everything, which is so childlike to me. He's like, "My dad wants me to send you away. I really don't want to." And she's kind of like, "Well, what's the issue?" And he's like, "Well, I think he might be considering my brother, as an emperor versus me." And she's like, "Wait, hold on. If sending me away is the way to get on his good side, send me away. Let's go. I'm going to start packing." See, I like her. And the thing is, see, what she's saying is what Titus should be saying. So Titus worries me. I feel like his heart might be in a good place, but strategy-wise, I don't know. But the queen is interesting. I'm not really sure. I can't figure her out yet. Is she using him or is she into him? I don't know, but I'm curious. And also I'm thinking, yeah. So pretty much, like I said, Anthony Hopkins told Titus, like, don't get excited too soon. I'm gonna choose the person who I think is best to be emperor. So you think about it. And I really like that, because now I'm going to see two brothers, going at it and trying to prove that they're better. And we'll see how that's going to play out. And I think that's going to involve all the other characters like Tenax and Lord knows who. And then, which we will talk about, Tanix. I think that's how you say his name, which I'm not a big fan of his name either, but anyway, he is the owner of the betting tavern. He is clearly the opposite of Scorpus. He tricks Rufus, and I like how he did it. He predicted that Rufus was gonna go to the fortune teller and base his bets on what she says. He beats her to it. So pretty much, Rufus gambled his wife's 500 faction of the blue team, and now Tanix owns it. And Tanix got big dreams. See, unlike Scorpus, I know Tanix's motivation. He wants to be powerful, and he's telling Scorpus, like, we could get our own faction. We could start making moves. And of course, Tanix is like, whatever. So in a way, he's kind of ambitious, like Domitian, but I feel like as of right now, Domitian is more how should I say? I don't want to say he's willing to hurt people more, but I don't know. Maybe Tanix is more like that too. But I feel like between him, Tanix, and Domitian, they are willing to do what it takes to get what they want. And we know Tanix's motivation. So I like that. And then, like I said, the characters that I'm into right now is Anthony Hopkins' character, Scorpus, Domitian, Tanix, Titus, and the Queen. And there are actually more characters. There are these 3 Spanish brothers with the horses. I'm not really sure where it goes with that. I don't know if they're good fighters. They look like they're just horse people. I'm not sure if Tanix will get his own faction and use their horses. And then we also have the Marcis family, who does not want to see Anthony Hopkins' family take over, and they actually, feel like Domitian will end them, which he probably will. But we saw a little of them. I feel like the only person that's interesting is the one that's laying up with Scorpus. And then there's this black family or colored family. One of the sisters was attacked by the Roman soldier, and the other sister was trying to protect her. She killed the soldier. They got captured. The Romans took them. Then somehow the brother who hunts for the Romans found them, and there was an awful scene with the CGI lion who that was awful. But like I said, I could ignore that. But the brother finds them, try to free them, then they caught him too, and then the mother somehow tags along the whole time. And I actually forgot about them. I remember them later. But later, the brother and sisters were in line to be either sent to Rome or the mines. The mines is clearly the death sentence. So the mother was like, hey, to the brother, you got to act up and fight to show them that you could do something, so you could at least go to Rome and have a chance. The brother did that, and he was actually making a demand like, hey, because the guy who saw him or who makes the decision of sending him to Rome or the mine was like, okay, I see you could fight, you could go to Rome. The brother was like, hey, can I take my sisters? In fact, not can I want, I'm going if my sisters come along. And the guy was like, you don't make that decision. But he saw the sisters and he was like, well, some old man's gonna like him, so just go to Rome. um like I said, I forgot about them. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out, because I could see the brother end up being a fighter. I'm not really sure how the sister is gonna play out, and I'm not sure. The mother seems like she knows what she's doing, but I'm not really sure what the women's place is. But I guess we will find out, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll fall in love with them, or maybe I feel like they're kind of wasting time. I don't feel like that right now. I'm just kind of holding out. I don't dislike them or anything, but the truth is I did forget about them. So anyways, I thought it was a very good, strong episode. I liked it, and I am looking forward to the next episode.